So she's at the hospital. Oh no, Link's home now. I built him a deck, a wheelchair ramp. I'm thinking he's going to be a vegetable of some sort. And he comes walking in. You know, he just got better after they said, let's give him a chance. He just started getting better. He still has a TBI. He's got some problems. He's got to take medication for diabetes insipidus and stuff like that.
He's blind in one eye, deaf
He's
in one
blind in
ear.
one eye, deaf in an ear.
Good kid, though.
Way good kid. And so I'm drinking alcohol, like belligerent, weekly, daily alcoholism. I'm remodeling the house, which means I've done a bunch of demo. That's about it. We're living in a motor home in the front, in our driveway. Yeah, just as bad as it can be between us and her. You know, between me and her, it's like she's ready to leave. She don't want to know. She want to be nowhere near me. Period. People at work, I was getting awards on base. I was doing really good. You know, and now my reputation's gone. I'm showing up drunk. I'm just, you know, just as bad as you can imagine it being.
So you have success at work, but you are failing at home.
Big time.
And you're failing because you're
I'm an
belligerent, you're
I'm living life on my
alcoholic.
terms.
Right.
How was
Are
it?
you
How
being
was it?
abusive or what?
How was he as an alcoholic? So some people say they become alive, they fun. Some people say no.
Yeah.
There were a plethora of all of those things combined. There was like levels, like, you know, when he'd first start, he'd be fun and outgoing, and then get sad, and then get angry, and then pass out, and then do it all over again. Just a roller coaster.
But you're ready to leave, so you cannot take it anymore, or
Yeah, what
you
made-
got fed up, or
What made you
Yeah,
wanna
I was
leave?
just tired of being, like, because I became very codependent. Like, I would track our bank account and be like, how much is he spending this month? And, yeah, like, oh, he's, like, follow him, like, oh, they're stopping at the liquor store again, you know? And I was done. I was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore.
right?
So I actually reached out to a lady at church and was like, will you help me? So we went through a book called The Excellent Wife, which, kudos to Maritza. She was very patient with me. But we went through that book, and it taught me what I needed to, and in the meantime, I'm doing tons of research on, like, alcoholism, what not to do, what to do, you know, how do I
Because you
keep
don't
from
drink,
fighting
right?
all the time.
You don't drink, right?
No, I didn't drink much,
Yeah. Okay.
hardly
But
at all.
not much means like a sip every 3 or 4 years.
I come from a family of alcoholics and drug addicts, and I was like, not for me.
Oh, okay. It
So,
was,
like, my mom and dad were really good about keeping us away from that stuff. We weren't allowed to go to those cousins' houses and, you know, stuff like
So
that.
did you leave him?
No.
What made you stay?
She slept at my sister's house a few nights.
Yeah. I just
you
started,
remember that?
I just learned, like, what it meant to be, like, a good wife and not a naggy wife, and, you know, what it means to not enable him anymore, and that it's okay that he's mad at me, because in the long run, that's going to help both of us. Like, if he wanted to go to the liquor store, I was allowed to say no. I'm like, I'm not driving you. If you want to go, find your own way. Or if we were at a party and it's time to go home, I'm like, okay, bye. See you later.
Just leave me there.
Did you ever try to stop him from drinking?
Pre-Maritza.
Yeah, pre-Maritza.
Okay.
Yeah, the
I
lady
think
that
I
from
gave
church
up
that
after a
helped him.
minute. It didn't last long.
The manipulation doesn't work, right?
No, I can't.
The
I will-
tears, the the crying, the anger, it doesn't work fast.
The biggest weight off my shoulder was learning that I have no control over anybody else. I only can
That's
control
right,
me.
yes.
So whatever he did, I had no control over it. I'm like, you do what you're gonna do. You know, I
Yep.
can't fix it. Well, it's still a lot of praying, a lot of shower crying,
Book reading and
book reading.
Yeah.
Learning
Yeah.
about
Yep.
alcoholism.
sharpening and encouraged. Yeah. Get it.
If family was having an event, I was going. Like, they'd be like, "Where's LT?" I'm like, "I don't know. Call him. Ask him where he's at."
I
You
wouldn't
know?
go to the family events that didn't drink.
Yeah.
If it was the side of her family that were drinkers, I'm like, I'm there. Let's
Yeah.
go.
And I'll bring the stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then I
I
would
have
drink
them
all
any.
their liquor with my hidden bottles in the car. You know.
Yeah, but I think the most important thing I took from The Excellent Wife was, you know, you tell your husband one time something that bothers you, and, you know, they can listen or not, whatever, but you told them. Like, if something changes, then you tell them again, but you don't sit there and nag
Nag.
and nag and nag.
Right, right.
And you find the proper time. So that's what I just started doing what the
Yeah.
book said.
And the proper time is when they're not drunk, when they're not in drugs.
Yes.
Because if not, it's just like a friend said, it's just like talking to a head of lettuce. nothing is gonna happen. Nothing is gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I remember we got in one huge fight one night, and I was like, we're never doing that again.
She gave me a black eye.
I was like, that will not ever happen.
Like, hit me. Oh, hit me again.
See, you took her to the gym. You took her to the gym, right? Right? She knew how to defend herself.
No, that.
She's at the
She's
base.
a mechanic. You know what I mean? You know she can fight. You know, girls don't pick to be mechanics unless they can fight.
They're strong, right?
So anytime there was a fight about to happen, I'd leave. I'm like, I'll be back later.
Oh, that's
After you
nice.
sober up. So I'd either sleep in a parking lot or go to his sister's house, but I was like, nope, not happening.
Yep.
Okay, so what changed
But
that?
I knew eventually it would change, so I wasn't ever really gonna leave.
You have
did
faith
know.
for that.
Yeah, I have
You
faith.
knew that.
Okay, you
And
knew it in
God's
your
in
heart.
control.
So-
I'm not
She
in
didn't
control.
say I believe.
Yeah, no, I know.
She didn't say I believe. I kind of hoped and wished. She didn't say that. She said I
I
knew
knew.
this
Yeah,
would happen.
right.
That's amazing.
He's one of
How did
God's
you
children
know?
because he's a saved man, and God's got a plan for everybody.
Party time here.
Did you get that? Y'all get that on film?
She has to say that again,
Yeah, 'cause
Pastor.
somebody
Yeah,
needs to know
I
that.
know,
Somebody
I know.
needs to hear that. And somebody got to believe it, right?
Yes,
Somebody's
yeah.
struggling with something right now, and they just need to know if God got it. Tell them. Tell them. Just be
He
assured.
was, he was a
Assured.
saving.
Yeah.
That's how you started.
Just know. They're gonna be all right.
Yeah, if you're
They're coming
saved,
out.
God's got you. You know.
Already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Romans 8:28.
And she said,
Romans 8:28. See,
I love when people say things that are impactful, but they say it so casual, like it's part
Yeah,
of
I
life.
know, yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
and we're going,
I just knew it. You know?
I
Like,
see.
wait a minute, how do you know that?
I watched God bring my son back to life. He's gonna bring my husband back. You know what I mean?
oh, wow. Ooh. I got goosebumps right now.
Yes, sir.
The God that answered once can answer again and again and again as you need to, right?
Oh,
His
yeah.
mercy is forever.
Forever.
Wow.
Renewed every
That
morning.
is
That's
cool.
tight. That's super
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
Your faith is amazing. Appreciate that. I like it. You're
I was going to say, I don't want to say anything else. That was beautiful.
I'm saying it like I'm just sitting there. Just sitting there.
Yeah,
That's
just
good.
go ahead, Leonard.
So
So,
that's good. So this makes a lot of sense now. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Finish.
So she's sleeping in parking lots. She's going to my sister's house, avoiding fights. She's working with Maritza, going through the excellent wife. I'm at home drinking as much as I can. I'm in the motorhome. So now I have finished a bedroom enough to where she can move back into that bedroom. But I stayed in the motorhome just because that's where I could drink without anybody looking at me. I got to the point where I didn't want to be around nobody. I drank too much. You know, that's a point where you switch in life when you know you got a problem, is when you stop bragging about how much you can drink and you start lying about how much you have been drinking.
yeah,
You
that's
know?
the difference.
That's a TikTok clip right there. You got it. You
Got it.
got it.
Marked.
Because that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
As
fact.
much as we laughing about that now, that is a real, for real statement.
Yep.
Somebody need to hear it.
It is sinking,
And my
right?
friends didn't want to hang out with me no more. Nobody wanted to hang out with me no more.
Oh, wow. Even your drinking friends?
I didn't want to hang out with me no more.
Well, you heard what she said. They didn't know how to take her. He was good at first. Get all sad.
I would
and
wreck a
angry.
party. I would wreck the party. I was fun for about 10 minutes, but I'm drinking whiskey so fast because I had
Wanna feel it.
Yeah, I want to get drunk. I ain't drinking to have social time. I'm drinking to get wasted.
Yeah.
And so I'm just by myself doing this now. And one day I'm just sitting in the motorhome, fat, out of shape. Like I'd pick up like 20-pound weight, shaking. I'm like, good Lord, this is not. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired, all of this. I'm sick of it. It's like a Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. I have a picture of this. I'm in my motorhome, and I'm still playing with my cameras and stuff, right? And I take a picture of me in the mirror of the motorhome, and I got this big old freaking like half-gallon of whiskey, and I'm drinking it. And I call my dad, and I'm like, I don't even know what I said. He comes and gets me, takes me to a detox place, and I'm like, if I don't quit now, I'm gonna die. My doctor had already told me that. You want to see your kids grow up, you need to quit. That's how much I was drinking. Tries to check me into this detox, and I'm so belligerent. They're like, get out of here, go sleep it off, and then come back when you sober up a little bit, then we'll check you in. So my dad takes me to a hotel, throws me on the bed. I pass out. She shows up later in the afternoon with some French fries or something, stuffs them down my throat.
I feed him some McDonald's. I'm like, eat this.
That's tight. That's super tight.
I go back to the hospital, and I spent 3 days there. IVs, they're checking on me. So that's my first 3 days clean in 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And right after that, this is a metaphor, cool part of the story. But I've been working at a desk, F-35s, it was a government system, and it just sucked. And but it was a blessing. Don't get me wrong here.
Sure.
But I get out, and I'm like, I need to build something. And my buddy Daniel calls me, and he's like, this lady wants us to build her a deck. And he'd seen the deck I just put on my front of my house for Link's wheelchair thing. And I was like, tell her this much, and I'll do it. And she said yes. I'm like, all right. So I get out of the hospital. Me and him get the trailer. We go gather the wood. And there's this old rickety deck on this lady's house. And I didn't realize it at this point, but it's an old deck, right? No, I didn't even dare to climb on it. He'd get up there. I'm like, I'm not coming up there without, that's rickety. So we tore down that deck and built a brand new deck. Beautiful. Redwood, linseed oil stained it. It was probably like 15 by 20. I made it as beautiful as I could. I had to get out and build something. It was hot. I was sweating. I tore down something old and I built something new, and it became this metaphor at that moment in my life, and I didn't realize that's what I was doing, is I was at that moment being tore down and being rebuilt. Not resaved, rebuilt.
Yeah.
Going back
That's a great
home,
message,
right?
man.
And so we
Another
built
TikTok.
I think we're doing promotion for TikTok now.
That was great. That's great. I mean, you're full of them. I'll just keep going. I love this.
And so I rebuilt this deck with him. I mean, you can go look at it today if you want to. Right after I built that deck, I said, okay, got that out of my system. Checked myself into a rehab, Action Recovery, up in South Ogden. And I spent 5 months there and an
5
intense
months?
5.
Wow.
About maybe 5 or 6. I worked through step 5 out of the 12 steps. It was Monday through Friday from, 5:30 to 9, 3.5 hours every night, mandatory AA, NA meetings on the weekends. I only missed one night, and I was kicking against it because, I'm 40, 50 days clean now. I got this.
Yeah, you have
Step
it.
1, powerless. I'm not powerless. Do you know who I am? That's still there. And so I relapsed in about 47 days. And nothing crazy happened. I just said, I want to prove to myself I'm in control. And that's how I sold it.
Yeah.
I sold her on it. I sold everybody on it. I'm just proving to myself. So I got a little half pint of whiskey, 3 shots or something like that, stuck it in the top drawer. We go out to eat, and I'm like, see, it's there, and I'm not drinking. I'm not alcoholic no more. I'm good. I'll drink it when I decide. And I drank it, didn't drink no more. See, there's proof right there. I'm in control.
All right.
When I get back to counseling, and every Thursday night we had family group therapy.
This is how the enemy works in your head, Pastor.
Oh, very sneaky. And we get to family group therapy, and one of the girls in the recovery group, she looks at Felice. She's like, "Hey, how do you feel about LT's relapse?" I'm like, damn, it's not a relapse.
That was just social drinking.
I was proving a point.
Just had a sip just to show y'all.
And so she starts selling them the bill of goods I sold her, right? And the counselor off the top rope, whack! I don't want you to tell me this is a good thing. And he's yelling at her and then starts yelling at me. Let me get this straight. You check yourself into detox because you're an alcoholic. You come to rehab, you've been here for a few months because you're an alcoholic. And now you're going to go drink to prove you're not an alcoholic.
You're not an alcoholic.
And just something right there was like, click. Haven't had a drink since. And I just full steam ahead, got into recovery, got back into the spiritual program, which is the Bible, the one true God,
Sure.
That's my higher power, the one that actually has power.
Yes. That's ours too.
Yeah. And just from there, God's just been pruning me, clipping us, pruning us, strengthening us.
That is
Trust.
a beautiful story. Now, what what made you decide to create a program to help others? I mean, now you're healthy.
So
you have a future. You still have a wife. You still have a family. So what happened? What's the click in there?
So I've always loved videography, photography. For a long time, I've been making YouTube videos since 2008, just for fun, just family stuff, adventure and stuff. But then I was like, man, I want to get serious about this and try to make a niche. I know recovery well. I'm interested in it, and I know I can share the gospel. Let's see what happens. And that's when COVID hits and we start going live. So I take all that passion skill that I loved, and I put it into something else I loved, and I loved YouTube at the time, you know. And so we just started going down this path, and just
So wait a minute, wait, just 1 second.
okay.
You love alcoholism and drug addiction, and now you take that passion into something
No,
positive?
videography.
Oh, videography,
And
got
mixed
it, got
it
it.
with
I
my-
just want to
yeah,
make
yeah,
sure
yeah,
to
yeah.
our
Mixed with
audience
recovery.
over there.
Mixed with recovery. Yeah.
Okay.
I did love that too.
I just want to make sure.
And so we get to the point of 2020. We go live for the first time, and people are tuning in, and I'm just doing everything I was taught to do that I've been researching. You know, I got to post this, interact with your community, that, and it was just perfect timing. With COVID, a lot of bad stuff happened, but a lot of good stuff happened too.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is one good thing, and so it starts happening. We end up getting teleworked. I'm still working on bass at the time, so we're both in the house, and I'm halfway doing my job on bass, and I'm focusing on YouTube and all that stuff. And it just starts growing, and
You
I
government.
decide,
It's government.
Yeah, it's
you know,
fine. As long as you get the job, then I don't care.
Your boss might say, "Can I get that tomorrow?"
and so I'm like, turned it into a legit nonprofit. Okay, that's what I just keep plowing. And she's behind me putting stuff on the shelf.
One step at a time.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we start bringing in a little bit of money. And my perspective changed on life and my son's accident too. I saw how fragile it was.
Yes.
After I did accomplish in the Air Force, I realized I'm not as dumb as I thought I was. I'm almost a pretty smart dude. I didn't
Yes.
realize this, and I'm not gonna be my dad. I'm me.
Oh.
So all this stuff's
identity.
starting to come to a.
Oh.
And then-
culmination. Right
Yeah.
there. Got
And
it.
so, materialistic stuff, we're all future yard cells. Everything we own, everything
Yes.
you are, is nothing but a future yard cell or a dump run.
Right, right. And even if we try to donate it, and even if we try to give it away, when they may just end up throwing it away.
Exactly. Store your treasures in heaven. And so this stuff is starting to just really, the Holy Spirit's alive in me again. I'm not, quenching the spirit and feeding the flesh. It's starting to be the opposite effect. I'm starting to take care of my body, relationships, and mind. And so I look at the house, I look at the opportunity. I'm like, we're going to sell the house. I'm going to quit my job. We're going to put all this money into this nonprofit, and we're just going to go from there. I'm going
That's
to jump.
radical.
What's that?
Very radical.
Yeah.
Very radical.
And I just said, God, if this is what you want me to do, let it happen or make it happen or whatever. I don't even know what to ask for. Thank God in Ephesians 3:20 it says that he's able to do
Yeah,
more than we
more
ask
than
or think.
Or imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing God that we have.
And
Yeah.
that's happening at this time. And so we jump off a cliff and sold our house, rented in a little apartment. We're in a townhome now, which is real. It's nice, but it's not a house. We sold our nice cars, our car payments. And we got cars that are paid for, a little 2007 Subaru. I got an old Suburban. They're both paid for.
Right.
So we cut out all our debt and just came down to the most minimal, comfortable way we could live, raising the kids and stuff.
Right.
And then focused on this nonprofit. I put in my resignation on base at the 10-year mark, and they just thought I was crazy,
Yeah,
What
most
about
people would have thought
retirement?
that,
You're 10
right.
years in and this and that.
Now, is your wife not thinking that you're crazy at this point?
She's
Wait,
probably
wait, no,
still
she
thinks I'm crazy.
You still on base? Or
We're probably both crazy. I don't know.
you gave
Well,
your,
that's a great
you, gave,
idea.
you turned in your resignation
No,
too?
I still work.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We still get a paycheck. I'm not that
I just want to
crazy.
make sure.
God said
Wise
it's
woman.
not time for you yet. It's okay.
I trust you, my dear, but you know what? I think I'm going to do
I'm gonna stay in
for my
job.
kids.
She's a GS-12 too.
I want to keep my house.
Do you, boo?
Whatever makes it happy.
And so I know that with the house we sold, we got this money in the bank. We're out of debt. And I know I'm like, I got about a year and a half. This has bought me a year and a half.
Right, right.
And so as that money's wearing down, all of a sudden we apply for this grant, get our little team together, apply for a grant. Utah funds us for the next 4 years. We're funded till 2025, 2026,
20, yeah,
something like that.
What? Wait.
Did you hear that?
20, 20,
You're talking.
25.
What are we talking about? What? Your nonprofit is being funded by
The state.
the state.
The state said,
Because you're
"Here's,
doing a program for recovery people.
Yeah,
Yes,
so now he
because-
gets a paycheck.
We're leading the charge. Okay, that's our digital side. All the YouTube, all that stuff, that's our digital side. It's cool, it's fun, it's out there. People look at it and go, wow, like, whatever. It's cool. I love it, don't get me wrong. But our local program's kind of where the rubber meets the road and our hearts, because we can actually one-on-one with people. Monday through Friday, you show up at my gym from 6 to 8, we're there. 6 to 7, we're hitting a workout. We're going to release good endorphins. We're going to wipe out a crappy day.
Health,
And then from
yeah.
7 to 8, we're going to sit and talk about it. Relapse prevention. We're going to show these people how to live a new lifestyle, new habits, and build healthy relationships. It's your biopsychosocial. And that's what we work on.
So your niche is relapse prevention,
Ours
correct?
is. Because I
Yes.
looked around Utah after reading a book. I'm like, 90-day program, in-house, 60-day program, 30-day program. Where's the aftercare?
Right.
You know, what are you going to do? 90 days, okay,
Yeah,
see
go
ya.
out and then go back to your friends, go back to your old
Exactly.
habits.
All
and,
your old
yeah.
habits.
So I tell people, you've been to rehab, now what? We're
Right.
the now what.
Okay.
And so they come and
And
that's
is
what
there
we
a
look for.
cost to the people?
My goal has always been for people to have instant support immediately.
Okay.
Not, what's your insurance? Fill out all these papers. We'll get back to you in a week.
That's
Let's
the
see what's
usual
going on.
question.
Hey, I need some support. I'll see you tonight.
Okay.
No questions asked.
Right.
Thank God for the state of
Grant?
Utah
Right, right.
and the grant we got, and we, for the next 4 years, we still see that that's happening. So we got another 4 years to make something happen.
Awesome.
You know?
Awesome.
So why a recovering addict? Where that name come from?
It's just self-explanatory.
Yeah, I look at all the. This is probably just my marketing stuff, right? People, I see other recovering. I'm not talking crap on them, on these recovery people, but I'm like, if you got to look at it and have to explain it, it just gets lost in the noise.
Right, right.
This, if you, I walk up in this shirt and people are like, oh,
Yes, yes, yes. It's
Instantly,
very, yeah, you
you
get the
know?
message immediately.
yeah.
Right,
And I
right,
just didn't
right.
want to have to explain anything.
Right,
Good
right.
stuff.
And the people who need it will understand it.
Mm-hmm.
The people who do not need it may not understand it, but that's not your target
Exactly.
population. Your population is the one that will see it.
And the people
Oh,
that are in
yes.
recovery wear it with pride.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Each day counts. Each second,
Yeah.
each hour at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know, he got a cross coming off the R. Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So we needed a logo, and my aunt put this on here because at the
Oh.
core of our foundation
It's
is to advance the kingdom of God. It's great to give people materialistic needs, taking
And
care of
healthy,
homeless people
right,
and loving. God, Jesus said, you did the least you do to them, you're doing to me,
Right.
which I agree with. But if we're not sharing the gospel and advancing the kingdom of heaven through salvation, what was done on the cross, the gospel, you know, Old Testament points to it, New Testament points back to it. That's our commission now.
right, right.
Then we're really, what are we doing for people?
And then you
Nothing.
revealing the higher power,
Yeah.
you
That
know,
has
which most
power.
people, I mean, not most people, but some people do not
And
know
this-
who their higher power is. Maybe a rock, maybe, you know, a mountain, a tree. You're revealing to them that the higher power for you is God.
Yes.
And you're giving them this foundation to get better.
People ask, you know, what is it we see different in you two, like in your program and this and that? And I'm like, because our God is an awesome God and
Yeah.
is a God, is God. You know, it's the absolute truth. Our God has power. We go step 1, 2, and 3 with people. Step 1, you admit you're powerless, right? Your life's
Yes.
become unmanageable. Step 2, you find a power greater than yourself.
Yes, yes. So the rock does not work. The tree does
Well,
not
power
work.
greater than yourself can restore you to
Yeah.
sanity. And I tell them,
Right.
this isn't theological at this point. This isn't theological yet. So we can be your higher power for a
Not
minute.
yet.
You know, we can help restore you to sanity. But when we get to step 3, and you turn your will and your power over to the care of God,
Right.
as you understand Him, make sure you understand that you need a God that actually has power.
Right.
You know, you can
Right.
say the universe or the stars or the moon, but really that has no power and it's going to do nothing for you.
Right, right.
You need a mighty God.
Yes,
love it.
absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Now, your training.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
We like to do CrossFit type training. We do both. I like to mix
Functional fitness.
functional fitness. I don't
Okay.
even know what you want to call
CrossFit's
it.
trademarked.
When I first meet with somebody,
Functional, does that work for me?
they don't care what we do.
Okay.
They don't have any goals
Yeah,
to
they don't.
work out. Or
I just wanted
They're
to-
I
usually
just
mad
want to
we're
get. I
working
just want
out.
them to move a little.
Right.
You know, get their heart rate up a little. But then once it kicks in, like, wow, this fitness feels good. We definitely have a program. You know, Mondays legs, Tuesdays chest, Wednesdays back, Thursdays shoulders, Fridays some type of stretching yoga type stuff to recover.
I would have to go every 5 days. 7 days?
Our program's 3 days a week, but
3
if you
days a
really
week.
need this, we're there
Okay.
5. And then on the Sunday mornings, we go hiking and mountain biking. And every other Sunday is when the group goes together. And then once a month, we do an activity. We either, like, we're working with another nonprofit called Wasatch Widgeons, who takes care of the wetlands and on the Bear River out behind Willard. And so we go out and we give these people an opportunity to do something they've never done before.
For the
And help the
community.
community. And it's a path
Yeah.
of self-discovery. They might not like it, but who knows? Maybe all of a sudden they find a passion. We go to baseball games. We have Weaver Human Service guy who teaches us how to do some public speaking. We just do a bunch of like painting. We just give them an opportunity and a path to discover something they may like or rekindle something they had when they were younger.
Right.
know.
And
And
then
to-
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, just to relearn how to do it sober.
Relearn
Get
how
out
to
of.
Right.
A lot of
Have
people
fun.
I've noticed, have social anxiety. So just getting them out into society is like a big deal.
Yep.
Because they
Like,
have been rejected.
Even
you
so
know,
scared to
so-
ask to pass the salt.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
just ask me
right.
to pass the salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
This day, is it Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Friday night? Friday
Yeah,
night, we went to
Friday.
the Desert Star in Salt Lake. We took our whole group out there. And it's a play. It's a comedy play. And where
Slash
you eat
musical.
pizza. And I got
So
a
you're
guy,
teaching people to laugh and have fun,
have fun
and
sober.
relax and be
I got a guy who
social.
just got out of prison, right? This tough guy. And I got him in a play, smiling, And I'm like, look at you now, man. It's just something different. Something
Right,
different.
it's healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. So your program now is focusing on the mind, the spirit, the body, but I also
Relationships.
give them alternatives to the lifestyle that was wrong.
Yes.
Correct?
We
So is
focus
that-
on the relationships too. Like the one girl that's in our group is an LDS girl. Very sheltered life when she grew up. And still, her parents, her community, the LDS community, very sheltered. But guess what? We got her parents and her sister and stuff to come and hang out with us and a bunch of other addicts
Just to have fun.
and have fun. So I've integrated a little bit of a culture
Society,
shift between two different demographics. Take the shell off of this one and show them this shell's not too bad. They're just hurting, and then vice versa, whatever.
And your place is a safe place.
Yeah. Yep.
Because you're providing the bikes, right, and everything
We
else.
have the
and-
bikes, we have the gym equipment, we got everything, yeah.
See, and that's why you use the grant for,
Yes.
to provide for the people who could not afford it. So this program is available to everyone.
Yes.
That is amazing. That is truly, truly amazing. So say the name of your program again.
Recovering Addict.
Recovering. How do people find you?
You can go to recoveringaddict.org, and that'll lead you to everything you need to know about us. All our social media, Facebook, Instagram.
Okay. Are you podcast too?
We are.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd call us podcasters, though, because I don't really upload anything to like Spotify or Anchor or iTunes or anything like that. I used to, but I'm a one-man show, and there's only so much you can do,
Right, right. Yes.
So-
That is absolutely grand.
Good stuff.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, we're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's an
So,
honor
so
to be
glad to
here.
have you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Miss
Felice
Elise.
and
What an
you,
honor.
LT.
You got it.
We're
Really?
glad, so glad to have you. Miss Miriam, glad to have you again.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless
It was
each
fun.
of you. This
Yeah.
is Pastor Chris with the Juniper Tree Podcast. We love you. See you next week. God
Take
bless.
care. Bye.